And your source for esports racing is alive. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Full Velocity Racing Network. Tonight, live at the Lanier National Speedway. It is Season 3 finale night, championship night for our brothers over here at Dirt Warrior Racing, DWR. Sunday night Shootout series on tap here tonight, live on the airwaves of the Full Velocity Racing Network, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Welcome aboard, everybody. Phil LaCasse here along my broadcast partner, Mr. Too Tall Todd Stanton. And Todd, we've come all the way to the end of season number 3. It has really gone by like the blink of an eye if you really think about it. And tonight, Alex Brewer coming in as our series points leader, but he's got a bunch of guys at his tail nipping at him to see who can take down the championship here. A few short laps at Lanier, we will settle our season 3 championship, brother. Are you ready to rock? Because I'm itching to get this one going.
And definitely ready to rock and roll. And you can see the point standings live on your screens, presented by Trash Panda Graphics, our official point sponsor here at Full Velocity Racing Network. And Alex Bauer, like you said, the current points leader by only 5 over Austin Miners and Stephen Moore. Those guys only 5 markers back. Daniel Stifler, 16 markers back. Jason Salter, Racing Jason, 28 back. Derek Debris, 29 back. Jim Revis is 39 back. Josh Peacock, 41 back. Same way with Casey Brunson, Casey Brunson only 41 back, and Caleb Ramsey 43 back. And you're just looking at the field here through the top 20 cars here that have only took points. There's a lot of more points behind that, but top 20 point standings up on the board, and just to look at what kind of points championship race we're going to have this evening.
It's going to be a barn burner for sure. All those names in contention, all in the house here tonight at Lanier. So it is going to be a hot night of racing. Of course, none of this possible. None of this is possible. God, I can't talk out here tonight. I guess I'm burning up here in the Northeast. Without our great sponsors that make up everything out here at the Full Velocity Racing Network. Great folks like Hannibal Record Service. If you have not checked them out on Facebook yet, well, absolutely do so. You're in the West Virginia area, need a tow, check him out, Hannibal Record Service over on Facebook, and thank Tyler for all what he does for us and the entire dirt racing scene in the iRacing community. Also, a hello and thank you to Jeff Brown over at iRacing iFlag. If you've not picked up one of those iFlags yet, well, you definitely need to do so because they will give you an upper hand over the competition. Check them out today, iRacingIFlag.com. Also, a big shout and thank you to the folks over at Voiles Trucking, Kathy and Brian Voiles. Tremendous folks. They do commercial freight hauling and leasing. They will lease out a truck, no job, too big or too small. Contact them today and check them out through Voiles Trucking over on Facebook and give them a message and tell them that Phil and Todd from Full Velocity sent you. They will absolutely appreciate it. They are great folks. Also, thank you to the gang over at BladeNode.com. It is simple web solutions powered by nerds. They offer web hosting, VPS servers, dedicated servers, anything you may need. Check them out today, BladeNode.com. Use promo code FDRN. You will get 25% off your first monthly subscription over there. Once again, BladeNode.com is where you go to all your hosting needs. Also, a hello and shout out to our buddy Scott Bogloff over at the South Texas Speedway. It is Corpus Christi's place to race. Check them out today, SouthTXSpeedway.com. It is a great facility. Scott and the gang do an awesome job with that place. Check those guys out. Also, a big shout to our brother Jake Keel over at Monster Productions. He is hashtag making dirt track racing great again. We'll see Jake and all the Monster Productions gang live on the Full Velocity airwaves on Tuesday, July the 2nd with the Firecracker 40. Get signed up today or check out all the stuff that they have going on by looking up Monster Productions, Monster with 2 R's over on Facebook. A great follow and give our brother Jake some love over there. Also, a big shout out to the gang over at TDR Racing League, the sponsor of the TDR Turtle. If you want the Turtle, it's definitely not the award you want because that means you are upside down and probably not having a good night. Thanks to the gang over at TDR Racing, the sponsor of the Turtle here at the Full Velocity Racing Network. Also, our Quick Time every night, sponsored by the gang over at Hard Motorsports. Tonight's Quick Time and qualifying going to go to Joshua Ely aboard car number 09. He will have the Quick Time leaving. Thank the guys over at Hard Motorsports. They'll be live on the airwaves tomorrow night. Also, a big thank you to Jason Salter. Need a good rap? Check him out over at Trash Panda Graphics. Same can be said of our buddy Jim Revis over at Evil One Graphics. And also a big shout to our buddy Brendan Spadafora. Full Throttle with the Gent over on YouTube. A great show. We'll have all the Pocono results from this afternoon live over there. Full Throttle with the Gent. But Todd, stay in the Sunday Shootout Series. Conclusion of season number 3 about to come to fruition, but we have heat racing on the racetrack, the first of 3 and potentially 4 heat races. Why don't you take us out through a lineup here for heat race number 1? That is a good field of race cars right there. Heat races tonight in Lanier, 8 laps in distance. Yacht Racing, I flag, green flag. Outdoor Speedway for the first time. And tonight, Tar Motorsports Quick Time. Joshua Ely going to lead the field off with turn number 2 with Josh Peacock. Brett Rolls right away the 124. He's going to go to the inside of the Peacock. They're going to race for second. Todd off with turn number 4 to complete lap number 1.
Yeah, Rolls dives down to the bottom side there in the 124 machine, trying to get around the 61 here early in this heat race as we have 7 laps remaining. The 09 of Joshua Ely right now trying to set sail, trying to win this heat race, but Brett Rolls, the Tennessee Tumbler, down to the inside, going to make short work there into the second spot. Moyer and Ramsey trying to fit in there, trying to get around the 61 of Peacock, not going to be had. Peacock back down to the bottom, side by side for that second spot.
Yep, little crossover move there. The 61 back under the 124. Moyer there riding the tire tracks. He rolls fourth, looking for running room around. He may stick it all the way down to the low side. Alex Brewer in the 1 car, also making his presence known. Alex running 5th, looking to run for a championship here tonight. And I believe there may be points out there for heat races, so these may be important. Josh Ely still leads. They are still 2 wide for second. Peacock and Rolls continue to be door-to-door through 1 and 2.
Yeah, Ely's checked out from the field, but a great race going on for that second spot. The Tennessee Tumbler, Peacock, going side by side for that second spot. Peacock down on the bottom in that black car. The Hard Motorsports number 124 up top there. That is Brett Rolls. Rolls now going to give way there to the 61 of Peacock. Peacock back to second, Rolls to third. Now here comes Moyer down to the bottom in that number 11 machine as we have popsicle sticks up in the air, going to be this time by as soon as we hit that start finish line. Moyer and Rolls still side by side for that third spot.
Yes, they are. They're door-to-door for position number 2 as we get 2 to go off of turn number 4 for the race leader, the 09 of Joshua Ely. Peacock now able to stake claim to second. They're door-to-door for third. Moyer underneath Rolls. That may also open the door for Alex Brewer. He's got a notion to think to go to the low side of Brett Rolls. No race for 4th time. We take the white flag off of 4.
Brewer down to the inside, trying to wrestle that spot away, that 4th position away from the number 124, Brett Rolls. Through everybody entering the back straightaway. It's been that quick here in heat race number 1. Coming off of turn number 4, picking up heat race number 1 is going to be the 09 of Joshua Ely. Josh Peacock going to finish in there for second. They just got Kyle Moyer. Brett Rolls is going to barely edge Alex Brewer at the line there to take that 4th spot.
Yes, he is. Then that's going to be Brewer there running in for 5th. Caleb Ramsey were 6th. Bailey Hipp, Steve Robbins, and Ryan Oakes making up our 9-car race in heat race number 1. That was absolutely outstanding racing out there. Great run there for the number 09 of Joshua Ely taking on the win. Heat race number 2 about to take center stage. So let's go to LaVoyles Trucking starting lineup for heat race number 2. On the pole aboard car number 98, that'll be David Clymer. And alongside the number 21, the evil one, that is Jim Revis. Row number 2 aboard car number 8, that is Austin Miners, with the number 117 of Derek Dubry alongside. Row number 3, the Trash Panda Graphics row right there with car number 10, Jason Salter on the inside. He is flanked by car number 91, the UMP Modified Champion who was crowned here about an hour ago. That is Tyson Pankow. In row number 4, aboard the Eichstadt Wraps, car number 12, Electric Eric Eichstadt rolls off there. And next in line, then aboard car number 53, that is Chadwick Rigby. And rolling off shotgun on the field, aboard car number 68, that's our broadcast colleague, Ragin' Ron Piles, aboard car number 68, rolling off 9. So that is 9 pretty good bullets, Todd, for the trick out there for 8 laps around. And only the top 4 guaranteed to race their way onto the feature. 8 laps around are going to be pretty hot this time.
Yeah, going to be a highly contested heat race number 2, and look out for Jim Revis. He's been pretty good here at Lanier as of this week so far, so he's always been pretty decent. He claims never to be that good, but we'll see Jim Revis there starting in that second spot. Do not count out racing Jason Salter, that Trash Panda Graphics, number 10. He's going to roll off for that 5th position. Even Tyson Pankow, that number 91. We'll see what these guys have. Open setups is going to be the way of the land. Green flag is in the air. The iRacing I flag, green flag that is, as David Clymer leads the charge down into turn 1.
Yeah, Clymer going to take it there with Jim Revis down to the turn number 1 and 2, and you look right away on the inside. Here comes the 8 car of Austin Miners down to the low side of Jim Revis as they complete lap number 1. Austin trying to make way to the inside, can't quite make it happen. That's going to open the door for the likes of Jason Salter in the 10, Derek Dubry the 117. They're side by side for 4th, trying to split the 8 car of Miners. They race for 3rd down to the turn 1.
As they dive down into turn number 1, our cameras catching the action going down into turn number 1. It is David Clymer, Jim Revis, Austin Miners, Jason Salter running in at that 4th spot. Derek Debris trying to take that spot back there from the number 10 machine as he currently runs 5th, but Eric Eichstead has second thoughts there. He's working over the bottom side. Electric Eric trying to get rid of his name. He's going to have to earn it the hard way, though, as he said here locally on our broadcast there, Phil. So Eric Eichstead trying to drive through the field here tonight. Right now, battling it out with Derek Debris.
And I heard Mindy may have made him a good sandwich out there tonight, too, so that may give him a 12 car. A little bit of extra up as he works down to the low side of Derek Debris over in turn 1 and 2. Those guys are racing it on for the 5th spot. David Clymer, he's led this one from the outset, 5 laps in of the 8 on the board. David Clymer leading over Jim Revis, Austin Miners, Jason Salter, currently holding on to the final transfer. The battle is for 5th there. Debris and Eichstadt still continuing to go at it. Advantage right now, 12 car on the inside, but top lane seems to start coming in. We saw that in the UP Modifieds, how the track kind of went high lane. It's starting to work that way in the heat race here early on in the night. Eichstadt versus Debris for 5th off of 4.
Yeah, Eichstad's out on the bottom. He's catfishing it there in the number 12. The Eichstadt Raps number 12 machine working the bottom side. The 117 not going away. Like you said, Phil, the top side seems to be coming in here strong here in heat race number 2. As you're watching racing Jason Salter go to the top shelf for the number 8 machine of Austin Miners. That's a side-by-side battle for that 3rd spot. As we already have white flag in the air. They're fighting through turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, it's David Clymer, Jim Revis, Austin Miners, Jason Salter. Down into turn number 3. It is David Clymer holding on to the top spot. Off of 4, going to pick up heat race number 2. It's going to be David Clymer, Jim Revis for 2. Looks like racing Jason Salter going to squeak it in for 3rd. Austin Miners for 4.
Yeah, Miners getting 4th. Debris going to get 5th of Eric Eichstadt, Ron Piles, Tyson Pankow, and Chad McGreevy running out of the field here for heat race number 2. That one was really good as well. The theme of the night so far, Todd, I am getting track position. It is going to mean a ton here tonight at Lanier. We saw Josh Ely do it from the pole. We saw David Clymer do just after the pole. Well, this time he looked to the top of the board in heat race number 3. It is Stephen Moore who is going to lead heat race number 3 through our Voiles Trucking starting lineup. Can he make it an even 3 for 3, Todd?
And it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to do that. Here is your Voiles Trucking starting lineup for heat race number 3. Like you said, starting on the pole, driving the number 73, that's going to be Stephen Moore. It's Jason Brill outside, driving the number 16 machine, that's David Blackberg. David Blackberg aboard the number 16 machine. Rolling off in the 3rd position, that's the driver of the number 07, that really bright number 07, that's Justin Pruitt. Pruitt aboard the 07, and Greg Tuberville aboard the number 20. He's going to roll off 4th. Rolling off 5th will be the number 9. That's Chris Miller. Miller aboard the number 9 machine. And rolling off inside or outside the row number 3. That's going to be the 6th starting position. That's Casey Brunson aboard the 010. Rolling off inside row number 4, starting in the 7th starting position, that's the driver of the number 71 machine. That's Daniel Stifler. Stifler aboard the number 71. And this dancing part of the outside, that's the number 15. That's Chase Wascom. Wascom aboard the number 15. And rolling off shotgun on the field, driving the 010. That is Braden Richards. Richards aboard the 010.
Is that a 010 or a 012? I think that's a 012 on the Braden Richards. I don't know. It's kind of tough to tell from my vantage point. Either way, that's your 9-car field for heat race number 3. Starting lineup brought to you by the good folks over at Voiles Trucking. Looking over the Facebook live chat and going to say hey to Caleb and Ryan Oakes and Mindy and Eric Eichstadt. And Todd, I have to report a crime before we get green. Mindy made the sandwich for herself and Eric stole it. What a guy. That's a crime.
Definitely a crime. I want to remind everybody out there for tuning in, and want to thank everybody, I should say, for tuning in. I want to remind everybody to like our page, share it out there on Facebook, let everybody know. Full Velocity Racing Network is live, your source for eSport racing. We didn't get the shares that we wanted to here tonight, so share it out there. Let everybody know. Phil and Todd live here at Lanier Speedway season finale for the Sunday night shootout. iRacing high flag, green flags already in the air. We're racing already down the back straightaway here to turn number 3. It is Stephen Moore with the lead. The 07 to Justin Pruitt moves into the 2nd spot as he wrestles away from David Blackberg in that number 16 machine.
And it is great to see David Blackberg, who's a guy who's always out there in our chat boxes every night, out there finally mixing it up on the racetrack here on a Sunday night. 16-car riding in for 3rd. The race right now, Todd, good one for 4th, but Casey Brunson, and I believe is at the 9-car of that's Greg Turville, number 20 car that is there. Also Chris Miller right there with the 9-car. Chris making it happen down to the low side. That's a good race for that final transfer spot. Miller versus Brunson down to the turn number 1.
Yeah, Miller in that number 9 machine. Oh, it gets a little bit loose as I turned the camera on him. The lights for that number 8 or 9 machine, I should say, is almost looks like a number 8 on that machine. But running inside the top 5, but not in that fourth and final transfer position. As you're going to say, Phil, just to give a little update here on Full Velocity Racing Network, we're 35, that's right, 35 away from, what can you say, Phil? 35 away from?
4,000 follows.
Yes, there you go.
That's a huge number.
Yeah, why did they include you in on that one?
I would love to see us get to that 4,000 followers. We have been working this Full Velocity brand for the better part of the last year and also about a half a year before that, before we went away for a while. So we would love to get to that number. And thanks to all you guys that support us out there, guys and gals, every night. Really enjoy what we do with this. And I think just by the band that we are in, it feels like night after night, certainly appreciate all the support we get. But working out here, Todd, we're already 2 to go on the field for car number 73 of Stephen Moore. He leads Justin Brewitt. David Blackbird, Casey Brunson there for 4th. Chris Miller, Chase Wascom, Dan Stifler, and Greg Turbrill are back there. There are 8 cars on the racetrack. Braden Richards did not answer the bell here in heat race number 3, so only 8 cars started. We're already half a lap away from being done with qualifying, as off of turn number 4 this time, Stephen Moore going to make it a full 3 for 3 as guys who win their race from the pole position. Moore going to take down the win over Pruitt. 3rd going to go to Blackbird, Casey Brunson for 4th, Chris Miller, Chase Wascom, Dan Stifler, Greg Turberville, Braden Richards. Those guys will all go off into, I believe, what is going to be maybe a C or maybe a B main. We'll have to let iRacing decide what is coming up next. As far as the car count we got here, it was 9 times 3. That equals 27 on my end. Is Eric's out there responding to Mindy? No, Eric, she said, well, we listen to Miss Mindy. We know who butters the bread there. We don't want to make an enemy out of her. Eric, you stole the sandwich. Don't deny it. You definitely did. So we'll let the Eichstadt discuss that amongst themselves as I'll take a quick sip of this nice little cold Mountain Dew I got, Todd. We are C-Main Racing. 7 cars scheduled on the docket, and it looks like all 7 go into the B-Main. I call shenanigans.
Well, I don't know, Phil. I don't know if it's alphabet soup or 2 different styles. Yeah, I think it's going to be 2 different consolation events here tonight.
Okay, probably.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 different consolation events. They're going to call it the C main and the B main. But the Voiles Trucking C main is going to roll away like this. And, man, not a good start for the number 1, our current points leader, Alex Brewer. He's going to start on the pole of the C main. His dancing brother outside driver, the number 9, that's going to be Chris Miller. Miller aboard the number 9 machine. Eric Eichstadt going to roll off into 3rd position in that number 12 machine. Bailey Hip aboard the number 28 machine is going to roll off into that 4th starting position. Rolling off 5th is going to be the number 71 of Daniel Stifler. Tyson Pankow to the outside in that FBRN number 91. And rolling off shotgun on the field going to be the number 83 of Ryan Oakes.
All right, so there's your 7-car field. Going to make 10 laps around here, and all 7 will race on to the main event here through B main number 1. I guess we'll call it. There is going to be 2 B mains here, and they're looks like all going to transfer their way in, unless my complete math is wrong. I believe we've got 27 cars in the field here tonight. So we go green flag racing, I flag, green flag up in the air. We go down to turn number 1, and Alex Brewer going to lead the way off of turn number 2. Eric Eichstadt right there. He's got Chris Miller to his outside. They'll race for 2nd off of turn 4.
Yeah, the number 12 of Eric Eichstadt down to the bottom side, going to take over 2nd here in the C-Main. Now he's going to set his sights on the number 1 of Alex Brewer. 3 wide battle going on for that 3rd spot, as it looks like Bailey Hip to the rear already in that number 28 machine. But 3 wide battle going on between Tyson Pankow, Daniel Stifler, the 9 of Chris Miller. Those guys put on a whale of a show there. They make a little bit of contact. Oh, around goes the 91 of Tyson Pankow. Off the front bumper, the 71 of Daniel Stifler. Stifler really had nowhere to go there, Phil, but the 91 goes around in a no yellow flag, though, here in the C-Main.
No, we stay all green here at the Lanier National Speedway on lap number 4. Alex Brewer now going to lead Eric Eichstadt, Chris Miller, Dan Stifler, Ryan Oakes now up to the top 5. Bailey Hip, Tyson Pankow going to round out your field here. So tough break there for guys like Pankow who got around, but maybe the break that guys like Eichstadt and Chris Miller need, because they run 2nd and 3rd, and Eichstadt has run down the back of the 1 car of Alex Brewer. Alex, a guy racing for a championship here tonight. I'm sure not a B main is a place he wanted to be, but give you some confidence, Todd, if you can maybe take this thing home. He's working lap number 6 as we speak.
Yeah, to give him a little bit of confidence to propel him here into the A main, the number 1 of Alex Brewer. Right now, fighting it out, duking it out with the number 12 of Eric Eichstedt. I have to disagree with Neil Pope out there in Facebook. Nothing is better than dirt track racing. I hate to say it and hate to break you the news. Yes, I love asphalt racing, but not as much as dirt track racing. Have to disagree with that one there, Phil, as Neil Pope chiming in out there. Is number 1 of Alex Brewer currently leading there. The number 12 of Eric Eichstedt running in that second spot. Third is Chris Miller in that number 9 machine, but he's got a good battle going on with Daniel Stifler for that third spot. Stifler trying to steal it away from that number 9 machine.
I'm going to invite Neil to stay tuned here for our 60-lap main event coming up here shortly, because I think he may change your mind, because these guys are going to put on one heck of a show at DWR like they do night after night after night. These guys are the best of the best at DWR, these street stocks. They say legends are not born here, they are made at DWR. You want to win at DWR, you got to be one of the best, because this is the absolute elite of what street stock racers are in this simulation. And right now, off of turn number 4, the checkered flag on B main number 1 going to go out on the field, and it looks like off the corner is going to be Alex Brewer picking up the win of the first B over Eric Eichstadt. Daniel Stifler going to be in for 3rd. Chris Miller will get 4th with Ryan Oakes, Bailey Hipp, and Tyson Pankow. Going around to our 7-car field here for B main, I guess, number 1. Call it B1, call it C main. All I do know, Todd, is 7 cars right here for this one. And we have what looks like 8 cars scheduled for B main number 2. So 8 scheduled, only 7 race on. So we may indeed send one of these cars home tonight.
And indeed may send 1 car home here this evening. And B main number 2 going to go away like this. The Foils Trucking B main number 2 starting lineup's going to go away like this. Starting on the pole, driving the 117 of Derek Dupree. Dupree aboard the 117. Outside of him will be the number 13 machine. That's Caleb Ramsey. Ramsey aboard the number 13. Next row back inside row number 2. Starting in the 3rd starting position, that's going to be the number 15. That's Chase Wascom. Wascom aboard the number 15 machine. And outside of him is Raging Ron Piles aboard the number 68 machine. Rolling off 5th is going to be the 073. That's Steve Robbins. Robbins aboard the 073 machine. And Greg Tuberville rolls off in the 6th starting position, and that number 20. Inside row number 4, starting in the 7th position, that is going to be Chadwick Rigby aboard the number 53. And outside of him will be the 010 of Braden Richards, which is actually the number 11 car here tonight, Phil, out there on the speedway. It says 010, but he's the number 11. Braden Richards rolling off in the 8th starting position. He did make the B main number 2.
Yes, he did. He is out there rolling aboard car. It says 012 on my screen, so something may be all kind of jacked up in mine, because I see a 012 on the racetrack. So, hey, who knows? iRacing sometimes a funny game out there with these custom paints and custom numbers, where they are. But Derek Dupree going to lead over Derek Dupree going to lead Caleb Ramsey to the line here. Chase Wascom, Ron Piles, Steve Robbins, Greg Tuberville, Chadwick Rigby, Braden Richards, iRacing, I-Flag, green flag up in the air. Final qualification race of the night, B-Main number 2, heading off into turn number 3, and Derek Dupree and Caleb Ramsey, they're going to fight now for the race lead.
Yeah, Ramsey makes contact with Dupree, makes a little bit more contact. Wascom all kinds of out of shape too. No. Wascom and those guys, I don't know if they held on to it, Phil. Did you see that?
No, they didn't. As they were wrecking off of turn 4, Chase Wascom got upside down, landed on his wheels, grabbed the gear, and kept on trucking. A little bit of damage to the front.
A little bit of damage. Woo!
Right, maybe a lot bit of damage. That was pretty wild. We're still green, though.
Yeah, he has no fenders, no hood, no front bumper. It had to be Chase Wascom's fault out there, Phil, tonight.
Man, it's got to be Chase's fault indeed. That car was nice and red and now nice and dirty and ruined. But Derek Dupree now going to lead over Raging Ron Piles, who let Ron up for the 2nd spot. And the race going on for 3rd between Braden Richards and Greg Tuberville is pretty good. Tuberville looking to the low side as they head to turn 3.
Yeah, Tuberville looking, now he's up on the top side of the speedway there, Phil, as he's running in that 4th spot, trying to take over a spot there from the number 13 as Chase Wascom down to pit road, and I'm sure his night's going to be ended. That car, total disaster aboard the number 15 machine. Not the way he wanted to make his return here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Is Derek Debris with the race lead. Raging Ron Piles in the 68. Look at the full send there. I'm going to call that a half send. That's not quite a full send by the number 11 of Braden Richards. Richards trying to get up there into the 4th position, trying to wrestle it away from Tuberville. Almost a two-for move there, trying to get around Ramsey, too, at the same time through the corner. So we flash by that start-finish line, 4 more laps to go.
You got to send it full. You got to let it dig in. Oh, Braden Richards goes around out of the 5th spot in the number 11 or 012 or whatever the heck we call it. They stay green flag racing. Derek Debris continuing to lead over Ron Piles. Still Ron Piles, Caleb Ramsey. Now Greg Tuberville unmolested up there running in 4th. Richards now dropping back, it looks like, to about 6th as Steve Robbins able to make his way around. So that's your top 5 running. Debris leading Piles so far, and Derek having a good night with 2 to go at the line. He leads by 3 car lengths down the turn.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job of raging around Piles, trying to do something a little bit different, trying to catch that 117 machine. We'll see if he's going to be able to do so. He's got a short time to do it here in the B main number 2. The 13 Caleb Ramsey right there too, waiting for either one of those guys to make a mistake. It's pretty close there as they get that white flag out there, Phil. I believe it's the final lap. Yes, indeed it is. Here we're going down the back straight away. It is Derek Debris here. Not a lot of pressure here in the turn. Number 3, pressure being applied to Ron Piles. I think Piles is going to be second, but Derek Debris going to take down the win in that 117 machine.
Derek Debris going to pick up the win in B main number 2 over Ron Piles, Caleb Ramsey for 3rd. Greg Tuberville, Steve Robbins, Braden Richards, and Chad Rigby, your top 7. It looks like it's going to be Chase Boscombe who's going to be the one driver sent home tonight. So that definitely stinks for Chase because he's usually really fast, and unfortunately that car went off. It looks like on the hook with a big pluff of wrecking smoke there. But Todd, it is time to put season number 3 of a Sunday night shootout to rest. We are about to crown a champion. Alex Brewer rolls in tonight as our points leader, but he is going to start toward the tail end of a very loaded field we got out here. 26 drivers going to take the green flag for 60 laps around. Let's dive into our Voyles Trucking starting line.
And now your starting lineup for the season finale here for the DWR Sunday Night Shootout. The Voyles Trucking starting lineup is going to go away like this. Starting on the pole, driving the 09 machine, that's Joshua Ely. Ely aboard the 09. His dance aboard the outside, driving the number 98. That's David Clymer. Clymer aboard the number 98.
Row number 2 on the inside, car number 73 is Stephen Moore, and alongside in the number 61, that is Josh Peak.
Rolling off inside row number 3 in the 5th starting position, driving the Evil One Graphics, number 21, the Evil One himself, that's Jim Revis. His dancer brother outside, driving the 07, that's Justin Pruitt. Pruitt aboard the number 07 machine.
Car number 11 rolls off from position number 7, that is Kyle Moyer, and alongside aboard the Trash Panda Graphics, car number 10, racing Jason Salt.
Rolling off inside row number 5 in the 9th starting position, driving the number 16 machine, that's David Blackberg. And outside of him is the Tennessee Tumbler, that's Brett Rolls in the 124.
Austin Miners rolls off 11th aboard car number 8 with the 010, Casey Brunson. He'll start off 10th.
Your current points leader here in the series, the driver number 1, Alex Brewer, rolls off in 13th, and 14th is going to be the 117 of Derek Debris.
Eric Eichstadt rolls off next aboard car number 12 with Raging Ron Piles, and the 68 rolling off 6th.
Daniel Stifler, Caleb Ramsey, Chris Miller, Greg Tuberville, Ryan Oaks, Steve Robbins, Bailey Hipp, Braden Richards, Tyson Pankow, Chadwick Rigby. Round out your field, iRacing I flag, green flag is out. 60 laps will be the distance in this main event here. For the DWR Sunday Night Shootout, it's Joshua Ely with the lead.
And we let her dig down to complete lap number 1, and it is Joshua Ely on the number 09 going to lead the field off of turn number 4, and I'm going to guarantee you're watching out to these guys for the first time, you will become an instant fan of DWR because every night they put on what seems to be a classic out here in the street stocks. The absolute premier elite of the elite, the best of the best, live right here at Dirt Warrior Racing, and we are covering it live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. They're 3 wide for position number 5 in a turn number 1.
Yeah, 3 wide for position number 5. Peacock right there, too, there, Phil. It starts to sort itself out just a little bit. Look at Peacock down to the bottom side of the 21. Jim Revis, no forward bite coming off of turn number 4. He's going to be relegated still in that 5th position, but he's still fighting it out there with Jim Revis as the track continues to change throughout this is 60 laps.
Yeah, it certainly will go through a couple of revolutions here as I was looking back here at the battle between Kyle Moyer, Justin Pruitt. I also see Jason Salter back here as well. Those are the guys that were 3 wide. There's about 6 or 7. Somewhere in the dust cloud, I lost track of where the race leader was. Joshua Ely trying to already pull away from the field, Todd. He's got about 6 car lengths on David Clemmer and Stephen Moore. So far, so good. That 09's got a tremendous amount of speed. He's going to lead them down 5 laps in down to the turn.
Yeah, pretty much single file as of right now. These guys set up, probably most of these guys set up for the really, really long run here this evening. And then we got a battle. This is the closest battle we got towards the front, the 07 machine of Justin Pruitt and racing Jason Salter. Those guys battling it out, duking it out for the 7th and 8th position. Pruitt's looking down to the bottom side. Jason Salter right now running in the middle of that Trash Panda Graphics number 10 machine. Blackbird right now rounding out your top 9 cars as Blackbird just looking for a way around both those drivers directly in front of him. Is the first yellow flag going to come out of the evening? The first Hanover Wrecker Service yellow flag.
Hanover Wrecker Service yellow flag number 1 going to come out on lap number 8 here at the 3/8 mile Lanier National Speed. Brazelton, Georgia. Great to have you all aboard live the Full Velocity Racing Network. And oh, buddy, this one may be a developing situation, Todd, because I believe a BladeNode.com Full Velocity Instant Replay is going to show issues for the point leader. Go back to the replay and show us what happened to the number 1 car of Alex Brewer.
And the number 1 car of Alex Brewer getting down here into the corner here. And they just check up in front of him, and he just drives it in just a little too deep. And the 12 of Eric Eichstedt also gets into him. Comes back down the track and just can't quite get it pulled back out. Yellow flag going to come out for Alex Brewer. A little bit of damage to the right front of that nose on that number 1 machine, but he's going to be relegated to the rear. And the rear means 24th starting position there for Alex Brewer, so he's going to have a long road to hoe. He still has a lot of laps, so good thing it happened here early. It's a bad thing, though, it happened, because he is the current points leader right now, and he's got to look out for the guys that are currently right behind him.
He certainly does, and I'm going to see if I can't pull up the point graphic in front of me. I know you have a good picture of it, Todd. I know pretty small on my screen, so I really struggle to read the points, but I do know Alex Brewer rolls in. But we're already going back to racing. iRacing I-Flag, green flag returns to the air with Josh Ely, David Clymer, Stephen Moore, Jim Revis, and Josh Peacock. Your top 5 headed toward turn. All right, but Todd, we're already going to slow down the works. This is our second Hanover Wrecker Service caution flag. Going to greet us out here on lap number 12. So they say restarts breed restart. So we find just that there as we go right back with the yellow hanky in the air. We're going to let you go back to work with another BladeNode.com Full Velocity Instant Replay. And I think this one may have been a tandem of our Hard Motorsports buddies. I believe Ron Piles and Brett Rolls may have had a hand in what happened to put us under. Or maybe, take a second. I saw Eric Eichstadt back there as well, so it might have broke around them. I think Chris Miller might have been back there as well, so not exactly sure what all happened from. You've got a lot more cameras than I do, so when you're ready, Todd, chime in. Show us what happened here on the replay. These cautions, they're going by the blink here. Yep, but we go right back to green flag racing on the lap. There are 16 as they are going around this place quick tonight. And this is what I love about Lanier. It's a short little track, and these guys really do put on a great show as Joshua Ely going to lead now over David Clymer. The race right away for the 3rd spot. And that is a heck of a battle there between Stephen Moore, the 73, and the evil one, Jim Revis. They're door to door before they make a little contact. Holy smokes! Parking lot. Who said this was better than it was? NASCAR was better than this. That looks like an old school style Talladega wreck right there. The big one. I think it's a matter of, Todd, who wasn't involved but or who? I can't even. I give up. That was such a big wreck, Todd. I'm going to let you show a BladeNode.com full velocity instant replay under Hanover Record Service yellow flag number 3 on lap number 18. That was a parking lot, and Stephen Moore went for one heck of a run. Carnage, mayhem, chaos, and we go back to green flag racing. On lap number 21, the guy racing I flag, green flag returns to the air, and right away it's going to be Josh Ely, David Clymer going to roll him in, but we got battling going on back for the third spot. Is that Casey Brunson down low, Jim Revis up high? Jim's been running a lot of action all night. Him and Casey go at it for third down the turn.
Man, I muted my mic because I got so excited. I was trying to see the carnage that was going on there, Phil, and I muted my microphone there. I don't know how many times anybody's heard anything from me, but again, muted my microphone, pushing the replay buttons. But the 010 Casey Brunson works over the bottom side there. The 21 of Jim Revis. What do you guys think of that wreck out there, man? That was a parking lot, and it's one of those things that nobody wants to see happen. A lot of points getters involved in that one. We'll see how that's going to all play out, but lots of battling going out throughout the field, and like I said, this is not a boring race by no means. Salter now down to the inside there, the 71 of Daniel Stifler. Stifler, 16 markers out of the points championship as they sat coming into this race, so Salter down to the bottom.
Yes, he is. Jason Salter running down low as we complete lap number 24. And Todd, I noticed here tonight, Lanier, it's warm here tonight. The racetrack surface seems to be drying out a little bit quicker than normal. I'm looking around here. There was a dust cloud everywhere. It may be upsetting not only the handle of the race cars, but probably the visibility for some of these guys is already. We go under the yellow flag once again on lap number 26. Hanover Record Service caution flag number 4 going to greet us out here at the Speedway. But I'm thinking these dry conditions are making this racetrack really, really slick for these guys, because I see a lot of these cars are very, very ill handling. I think you'll find a couple more, Todd, with a BladeNode.com full velocity instant replay. Caution flag on the Speedway, and I'm going to guess the 83 of Ryan Oakes may have been involved, maybe the 07 of Justin Pruitt. Just a couple of guesses. I could be wrong. Todd's got the cameras. What do you got for a replay there, bro?
83 sent it in a little deep. That's Ryan Oakes, and sent it in deep. He hit the inside wall, tried to keep it corrected. Rolls right there, sends him around completely around again. Ryan Oakes tries to pull up in the track, right in front of the 12 of Eric Eichstead. Eichstead goes around, some more little carnage, a little bit of hitting there going on. The 60 of Blackbird also gets into the back of the 12 of Eichstead, so tough break for those two drivers, and man, some more yellow flags plaguing here at Lanier.
I got a question, Todd. It's a brilliant question. You ready for? Do these cars have brake?
They do have brake pedals. I don't know if they know where it is here. Sunday night shootouts. We're getting ready to go back to with the iRacing I flag, green flag, restacked, repacked, green flags in the air. We'll see how long this time the green flag's going to stay in there. These guys really racing there, Phil. And that's what the product of racing is here. The championship on the line here. A lot of guys fighting for their positions here to finish up the season. And that's a lot of times that's what happens. I've had a lot of championship races here at the local dirt track. They just go wrong. It just seems to happen, almost like a full moon.
Yeah, it really does. And it feels like that here tonight. But the best restart of the night for David Clymer, who it looks like may peek out to the lead over Joshua Ely as they come up a 4. And that starter's got that yellow hanky in hand again at the halfway mark. 30 laps in, 30 laps to go. Is it too late to page Dr. Green? Because this is a 5th yellow flag of the night. Brought to you by Hanover Record Service. Going to put Todd back to work, and I have kept this guy busy through the duration of this one here. But a BladeNode.com full velocity instant replay may find the 13 car of Caleb Ramsey, Todd, with a couple of issues.
Yep, so we're looking at Caleb Ramsey. Ramsey down to the bottom, minding his own business, trying to get around the 073 machine. Looks like he drifts up the track just a tad bit. 073 right there, tags him. He comes back up the track a little bit more, into Ron Piles. Around goes Caleb Ramsey in front of the 53 machine. And he finishes him off there. Ramsey up next to the wall. And Kyle Ramsey bringing out this most recent yellow flag.
Now, Todd, let me take you back to a couple of nights ago.
Caleb
We had
Ramsey,
the
not Kyle.
Fights finale. 100 laps there at Lanier. I believe we were slowed by 2 caution flags at Lanier the other night.
Yep.
Is that the product of racing for checkered flags versus racing for the points championship? Because Wednesday Night Street Fights, it's all for pride and glory of being the winner each and every week. This is a points-paying series on Sunday night. Same cars, same track, maybe a little bit different track conditions, but I'm really staggered we've had 5 yellow flags here early because we've seen these guys do races here before that are usually pretty spectacular. We're going to try again, single file restart. iRacing I flag, green flag goes in the air. David Clymer, now leads Joshua Ely, who looks to the low side for the race lead down.
Yeah, Ely's looked down to the bottom side. Yeah, I think it is a product of points racing there, Phil. As things happen here, you're fighting for those point standings, where the win is the bragging rights, and a little bit smaller field on Wednesday nights. But Sunday night shootout's been great here this season. Not a lot of yellow flags, but again, championship on the line here tonight for a lot of the drivers. Different points paying positions on the line. Again, they're not paying the positions, but there's points paying. So you get points at every position that you gain. So that's bragging rights for the next season going into it here at DWR Sunday night shootout. As Clymer gets a tad bit loose. Almost opens the door wide open for the 09 machine of Joshua Ely to try to get back by him in that number 98 machine. But the 21 of Jim Revis also sitting there nipping at both those guys' heels. And Casey Brunson right in there for that 4th spot.
Yep, but Ely going to take one more stab at the race lead, this time off of turn number 2. He tries for that throttle down to the bottom under David Clymer. Right now it is just so daggone tough to pass down to the bottom. And it's really intriguing because Lanier is a track that we usually know to be 2 wide racing, 3 wide racing. They're getting after it pretty good as Brunson goes back under Revis. You got Ely under Clymer, so the racing's getting good. But, man, these cars look to be a handful.
It definitely looked to be a handful. Ely almost getting into, he did get into the side of Clymer there. Was able to back out of it, but he's wicked loose coming down into the corner. And that 09 machine trying to work at the bottom. Clymer gets loose now. Here comes Ely to the top shelf of the speedway. Now he has to back out of it a little bit, but Clymer now down to the bottom side. Looks like the top groove may be rolling there as Joshua Ely starting to get it to go there. That 09 machine not quite as good as it was here earlier in the UFP Modifieds, but he's starting to work over the top shelf of the speedway.
Yeah, and that might be a product thought of going where they ain't right now because there's not really many takers up high, but Ely going to make work on the outside. Here comes Jim Revis down low. We're 3 wide for the race lead. Oh.
Yeah, Ely goes to the top spot. Jim Revis to second at number 21 machine. Oh, almost contact there. Woo! What a nice, those guys, hands down, great driving for those top 3 drivers, but Jim Revis getting shuffled back on the line into that 3rd spot. The number 21 machine, Clymer puts him up into the wall just a tad bit there, Phil. As I don't know if he knew Revis was there, but Revis hung on to the wall there. He loses many spots there, back to 7th.
Well, he fought the wall and the wall won, but you know why he's still rolling forward, Todd? Because there's a wall out there. There's no stupid Ute tire, or even better, no wall out there. He would have ran off into the woods, but that's why Jim Revis keeps going. A little bit of damage because there's no pesky Ute tire. There's not one to be found here, Lanier. That's why it's my favorite track.
Yeah, I've never seen a track with Ute tires on the outside. That would be a first there, Phil, as they've always been down to the inside just to keep the drivers off the bottom groove there. But the 09 machine of Joshua Ely still leading it. David Clymer now back quite a ways. Bailey Hipp running in 3rd. Casey Brunson for 4.
Where did Bailey?
It's Blunt. Yeah, Bailey Hipp came from deep in the field, but Brunson right now down to the bottom side there, side by side for that 3rd spot. Brunson not going away. A little bit of door banging there between himself and Hipp. The number 11 of Richards right there too into the fray. Richards giving a nice shot down to the back straightaway here to turn number 3 to that number 28 machine.
And I want to give you a little tidbit here. Bailey Hipp and Braden Richards right now running on the outside, running for that 3rd spot. Well, those guys started 23rd and 24th respectively, working on lap number 46. These guys racing up in the top 5. Bailey Hipp alongside of Casey Brunson. Those guys having a spirited race on for position number 3. And where is the groove of the racetrack going to take him right now? Casey's got it working down low, but Bailey Hipp in the outside lane, letting it eat up high. And I'm not sure what the strength of the line is right now. It looks to be up high, but you never know what's going to happen here. This is a really good race because you look behind and here comes racing Jason Salter into the fight as well.
Yeah, you definitely never know where the line's going to go. Here comes Brunson down to the bottom. Oh, Salter! Salter almost around the number 10 machine. There goes the 21 of Jim Revis. Yellow flag going to come out.
And yeah, that one happened real quick, and there was a stack of cars that were right behind Brady Richards, and now they're not there, so I'm assuming it probably got Jim Revis, Jason Salter, and I'm not even going to gain or guess about another more, but I know 6 caution flag right here, brought to you by Hanover Record Service on lap number 49. Going to put my partner back to work down there with another BladeNo.com, simple web solutions powered by nerds, instant replay. Issues to a 21 car who's had a good run here tonight. 2 issues here probably in the last 10 laps of car 21.
Yeah, this all started with the number 11 of Braden Richards coming down on the number 10 of racing Jason Salter. Salter has to go back down. Revis hits his brakes not to hit him, and around he goes there up into Daniel Stifler. Stifler makes contact there. That brings out the yellow flag. It was enough to bring out that yellow flag. So those guys able to get back going, but Braden Richards coming down the track there in the number 11 machine. That's what started the whole thing, is he made contact with another driver there. So tough break for a couple of these drivers out there, Phil. But right now, it is the benefactor is Austin Miners aboard that number 8 machine. I believe right now, only 5 markers back of your points leader. And your points leader right now struggling right in the I believe he's right around the 23rd position. So not a good job here for Alex Brewer. There's a lot of wreck and damage to that number 1 machine, not helping him out here tonight at Lanier. As we're back to green flag racing here is Joshua Ely. Then you got the 98 of David Clymer up to the top shelf of the speedway, and another yellow flag comes out just after we got the green flag.
And that is number 7 on the docket here for yellow flags, which is definitely not a normal thing at DWR. These guys usually the cleanest of the clean. But when you bring the extra guys they do out on a Sunday night, you put the points out there on the line. You got these guys running maybe a different little line than normal. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but caution flag on the speedway for a 7th time now on lap number 53. So running out of laps here. I am running out of breath, and I think Steve Robbins aboard the number 073 Todd may have run on a racetrack. I think he may be the prime suspect here for our BladeNo.com full velocity review.
Now the 68 machine of Ron Piles drives it in hot and heavy and gets loose up in front of the Tuberville. And around goes the 68, the 117 piles in, the 91, the 83, the 073. And I believe that I can't see who that other car was there, Phil, but 117 of Derek Debris. The number 1 of Alex Brewer getting through, but going to make up some positions there, but tough break for those drivers involved.
Yeah, it's going to put Alex up to 17th, but Austin Miners, I think the closest competitor, is running up there in the 8th spot aboard Carter 8, so we'll have to update the championship standings as fast as we possibly can, and as soon as these guys get from race control all tabulated, we'll talk to our champion during the post-race show, but we got still racing left to go. 5 laps to settle it here today at Lanier. iRacing, I-Flag, green flag returns to the racetrack on lap 56.
They're really hitting each other there for the 3rd spot. Clobber knocker here with these guys. There's more contact there. The 28 machine of Bailey Hip into the Braden Richards. The 10 of racing Jason Salter. Now 3 wide for that 4th spot. Salter down to the bottom side here. These guys really rubbing on one another. Hip gets loose. He's out of shape. He's down to the bottom side, so I think he's able to save. Oh, Braden Richards! Another guy driving in the back of him. He almost takes Salter around. Yellow flag going to fly, though. There's more carnage there through the field.
And I think that could be the end of the race here on this one. We'll have to wait and see, but we talk about Wednesday night being street fights. So this one, Todd, has been a Sunday night steel cage match, and these guys now with the 8th Hanover Record Service caution flag on lap number 57. And there was a lot of chaos and guys banging off each other throughout the field, but where'd you find the example this time? I believe Austin Miners may have got the short end here aboard car number 8. That may turn the championship standings upside down.
Yeah, it definitely was Austin Miners getting the short end of that stick. He was on the outside of on the outside of Hip. He was saving it around here, and just these guys are the product of racing where these guys were just hot and heavy in front of him. He had nowhere to go but run into the back of the number 11 machine. Man. It's Austin Miners going to the tail here. It looks like the 1 machine of Alex Brewer going to be out in front of him there, Phil. So Oh, tough break there for the number 8 of Austin Miners. I believe he would have had the championship wrapped up if he would have finished where he was at there. And the number 73 machine also directly behind them. I'm not sure how this is going to all play out now.
We'll have to wait and see. These guys got work to do at DWR, but we are going to finish this one behind that iRacing.com Chevrolet Silverado. And the first one to the line is going to be car number 98, David Clymer, going to pick up the win over Joshua Ely. Casey Brunson will finish third. Jason Salter fourth. Brett Rolls gets fifth. Braden Richards, Kyle Moyer, Daniel Stifler, Justin Pruitt, David Blackburn make up our top 10 with Caleb Ramsey, Chris Miller, Chadwick Rigby, Alex Brewer gets 14th. Ryan Oakes will finish up 15th with Greg Turville, Ron Piles, Tyson Pankow, Stephen Moore. Austin Miners running our top 20. 21st going to go to Bailey Hip, Jim Revis for 22nd. 23rd, Derek Dubree. 24th, Steve Robbins. 25th, Eric Eichstadt, and Josh Peacock going to finish up 26th here tonight. Lanier was tough to these guys, but the big survivor here this evening, car number 98, David Clymer. He's going to go to victory lane. We'll talk to him. We'll talk to Josh Ely. We'll talk to Casey Brunson, and also our points champion coming up next on the post-race show live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Your source for esports racing. Let the drama commence. Who is the series champion? We'll find out next.
Don't say I didn't warn you. I know things no one knows.
Evil One Graphics specializes in iRacing wraps, promo ads, and banners for all your sim racing needs. From a new custom look on the track to a new look for your site, E1G is your place. Want to promote a special event or series for your league? E1G can make that custom promo ad you're looking for. With attention to high detail, great service, and reasonable prices, E1G is here to serve you. Evil One Graphics, they're not only good, they're evil.
For esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network post-race show for season number 3 of the DWR Sunday night shootout, where David Clymer picking up the victory over Josh Ely. And our third place finisher going to join us now. That is going to be the driver of the 010 machine. That is Casey Brunson. Casey, through all this chaos we saw around us tonight, you start from a 12th position, get into a solid top 3 run. It was a smear mayhem around this place tonight. What the heck was going on with these guys?
I don't know. It was just chaos out there. After Jim got sideways on the back straightaway, I kind of got hit in the rear, and car was messed up after that. But I was up front. I wasn't meant to go pit and take a quick repair.
No, never give up track position in a place like this, but it's so quick to get around. Track conditions tonight, man. This racetrack looked to be really, really slick. These race cars seem to be a big handful. It's a little bit warm here tonight. Racetrack looked like it really dried out quickly. How much of a handful were these race cars? Because everybody out there, they look like they're all rim riding, just on the edge of out of control there all evening.
Oh yeah, the track went out real fast. Mine especially, car was messed up. I couldn't enter in, especially on a restart. It'd get tight, and I have to get some speed for it to enter right. And after that, I can kind of drive it, but it slicked out real fast tonight, and slicked out real faster in the modify feature too.
It certainly did. It was a weird night down here in Bradenton, Georgia, because this place always provides some really good racing. We saw some big carnage here tonight, probably the biggest wreck we have seen on the dirt over here at the Full Velocity Racing Network. But Casey Brunson, you survive it somehow, some way. You come out of here with a solid third place run live tonight via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. I give you the mic one more time. Congratulations on a third run and a very solid season here in season 3 there, bud.
All right, thanks. That's about all I can get is third, but I like to thank DWR for putting this on, and Ike Stat Raps for the paint.
All right. Well, he's a great guy. He made a few words. This guy's got a big, loud right foot that makes that car go fast. Car number 10, Casey Brunson, finishing up third here tonight. We'll leave him down here, let him go. We'll walk a little bit further down here on this end of pit road, and we'll talk to a guy we haven't talked to in quite a while here on the network, driver of car number 09, Josh Ely. Josh, tremendous job out there for you tonight. Car had a lot of speed all evening long, but this track, man, it looked to be a whole lot more slick than I think anybody anticipated. How fun was this thing to drive her? How challenging was this place to drive?
Man, it was a handful, to be honest. It was slick.
Slick is one thing, man. This place got really dry. I noticed a bigger dust cloud from my camera view up here than normal. I mean, this place was this track always provides some really good racing. I'm sure you were very happy to have track position tonight, starting up on the front row, because with 7 or 8 caution flags, it was just sheer chaos behind you, man. I'm not sure if you saw any of that in your mirror, but I'm sure you were pretty glad that you weren't back there, because it was mayhem.
Oh yeah, it looked like a handful back there. I'm just glad I was up front with the clean air, you know.
That's right, and somehow a straight-looking race car, where a lot of guys definitely have one. Josh Ely, man, tremendous job here tonight. A good, solid second-place run. That car was definitely a rocket all night long. Full Velocity Racing Network live on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Joshua Ely, car number 09. I give you the mic one final time. Thank you. We'd like to thank they got you out here tonight.
First off, I'd like to thank my whole team at Bulletproof Motorsports for all the hard work they put in to make me the driver I am. I couldn't have done it without them. And also, I'd like to thank Evil One Graphics for the badass paint job they put on the car, and also DWR and FVRN for the hard work they do to make all this.
Well, we certainly appreciate the kind words of those Evil One cars. They are always badass fast. And this 09 tonight, he certainly was a quick one. Car number 09, Joshua Ely tonight, P2 and Lanier. So we have talked to third. We have talked to second. We got 2 more interviews left to do. We got our winner, David Clymer, in victory lane with Todd, and we still got some drama to play out here. We have no idea who the champions yet. But let's talk to the race winner, David Clymer, victory lane with Todd.
Oh yeah, man. I tried to stay out front with Ely, man. He had the fastest car by all means, and all the restarts, I was just timing him perfect on his restarts. That was the only reason to put me out there in the lead. So I was just trying to stay out front and stay away from everybody. Yeah, I ain't ran with. I've ran a couple of races with DWR. I haven't been running, and I actually jumped back in the sim rig earlier, and I got in touch with the Bulletproof Motorsports over there with Peacock and Ely and all them, and they told me to come run tonight. So I gave it a shot, and I did my best, and it prevailed. So Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You'll see me definitely in the street stocks and in the modifieds. Yeah, I'd like to thank my wife for letting me race while she's putting up with the kids and everything, take care in the house. And also I'd like to put a thank out there for my grandparents, my mom and everything for putting up with me. And I'd also would like to put a prayer request out there for my grandparents. They're not doing good health. It'd be Shirley Cunningham and Bill Cunningham. They're doing actually bad in health, and if I could, I'd like to get a prayer, please. Thank you, sir.
It's that close. I know it's down here to about a point or two. I know the three admin team of Jim Revis, Jason Salter, Eric Eichstadt, they are climbing over it, mulling over it. And as soon as we got word of who our series champion may be, we will definitely pass the news along, as we will try to poke the bear and get any kind of information we get before we get off the airwaves here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Gives us time here once again. Let's thank our sponsors, of course, before we talk to our champion here. We're going to thank Hannibal Record Service, iRacing iFlag, Voiles Trucking, BladeNode.com, South Texas Speedway, Montstar Productions, TDR Racing League, Hard Motorsports, Trash Panda Graphics, Evil One Graphics, and Full Throttle with the Gent over on YouTube. We thank all these guys for their sponsorship. It means so much to us. There's a whole lot of great stuff for us. Got to thank the clan that always tunes in here night after night via either Facebook Live, YouTube, where I saw Jason Gomes over there tonight, Twitch TV as well. We're live on all three. If you guys haven't done so yet, do us a favor. Like our page, subscribe to the YouTube, follow us over on Twitch. We appreciate all the support you guys give us. We're just kind of in a holding pattern here, Todd. We're just waiting for every answer and information we can possibly get. Who indeed is our Season 3 champion? Drama builds, and I'm hoping the audience sticks with us, because I am dying to know who the champion is.
Here tonight, Phil, is trying to figure out who the points champion is here. I know I put a message in to one of the admins, have not got anything back, so we're kind of in a holding pattern. We want to know who the series champion is. I know a lot of the drivers sitting up here wanting to know who that series champion is going to be. So we're going to be on a holding pattern for just a second, as we can talk about the great racing that we've had going on here, Phil, as of late. And I tell you, we're going to be off on Monday. I believe we have Hard Motorsports tomorrow night for their season finale. I will not be involved in that one, but that's coming up here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. I know DSO is off for a couple of weeks. Tuesday night we're off. I mean, Wednesday night we may show something special on Full Velocity Racing Network. We will not be broadcasting, but we'll have something going on over here at DWR here. Announcers versus the drivers. That ought to be an interesting one too.
They said they're going to pay out like a prize for like the highest incident score, whoever gets involved with the most wrecks. And I've not turned a lap in this simulation in a long time, so I'm probably a shoe in there to figure that one out. And if we can get the streams all figured out, maybe we can, go live over maybe all three broadcast platforms. Maybe put Todd over on Facebook, put myself over on YouTube, or vice versa. Maybe get Jack Truman involved, put him over on Twitch, get maybe a three-way view of the point of view we're going to have here on Wednesday night. We come out here and crash it out with the Cars and the Stars of Dirt Warrior Racing on this week 13, which I think is the reason for the kind of light schedule we got here this week. Of course, Hard Motorsports, their championship finale with the UMP Modifieds tomorrow night, and then kind of a holding pattern the rest of the week. We get a big double bill coming up here on Sunday, or Thursday night. We have a big doubleheader plan. Simulcast will be over at Cyber Thunder Racing League for the Xfinity Series cars, the Wyckoff Heating and Cooling Xfinity Series Thursday Night Thunder, I believe, is it Daytona? I believe it's Daytona, Talladega. I believe it's Daytona.
Yeah, I think like you said, it's Daytona. One of those tracks, or Talladega, maybe for that matter of fact, there that's coming up there. It'll be rather interesting, Phil, to see what's coming up and coming. I know Friday and Saturday we're normally off. That's what we'll continue to do here. Sunday night, well, I don't think we have anything on Sunday night coming up here this week. So it's a rather small week for us here this week, and looking forward to things. Maybe we'll put something out there tonight this week, Phil.
Yeah, we'll have to put something out there. And don't forget about that challenge race coming up also on Thursday night. We go back over to NR 2003. Our buddies at Hobo Racing taking on the guys over at Short Track Racing. Old STR, Fred Hill, Jim Winchell. Remember all those guys, Todd, that we broadcast live for a long time over DRTV days. It has been a long time since we talked to the STR guys. I am looking really forward to reconnecting with a lot of those. And those guys going head-to-head with the guys from Hobo on Thursday in a special event at the Thompson Speedway, which is right in my home base. So I'm looking very forward to Thursday night. And I am still waiting. We are on a holding pattern, just waiting and waiting. See if we can't figure out who the Series championship winner is. But I'm not sure how much longer we can hold there, Todd, because the audience is dwindling. And I may have to post this later on, exactly what we find out, because it looks like it's a pretty heavy meeting going on up there in the admin trailer.
Definitely a lot of things that were going on here, so we've tried to hold on as long as we can, Phil. We will post it on Full Velocity Racing Network for those who want to know what was going on. We'll have Phil post out who the series champion is. Maybe we'll get a picture. Not 100% positive, but we'll get it here in the upcoming days as our time is running out here. And I know there was a lot that happened there, so we'll let those guys not have to hurry up.
All right, so to not rush these guys to get the process out there, that'll do it for tonight here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. As Todd said, we will definitely we'll also post the results over on the website, fullvelocitytv.com. So on behalf of all of us over here at DWR, Jason Salter, Jim Revis, Eric Eichstadt, got to thank Ron Piles, Martin Karch, Jack Truin, and my partner Todd here. Phil LeCass going to sign off live on your source for esports racing. But as we said, stay tuned to the Facebook Live side of things or Facebook page over at Full Velocity Racing Network or also the fullvelocitytv.com. We'll give you an update on who our champion is here on Season 3 of DWR Wednesday or Sunday Night Shootout Series. For all these guys and for Todd and all of my partners over here. Good night, everybody.
Good night.